Hi guys, this is my review of The Boys season one. I watched this last year, and season two's out right now. But I haven't. I just started it yesterday. I just missed the last four episodes, but yeah, I finally started watching it, so I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna review season one first, and then maybe I'll catch up. But I'm kind of watching The 100 and Power, and also doing a few other things since I've started college as well. And I still need to finish Lucifer, so yeah, I still got like three episodes of that left because I've been watching a lot of shows and I've been busy with college again, so yeah. But yeah, let's get into the review. So how should I even start this as well? I'm not sure if I should talk about the first scene because, well, let me just say like what I thought of the show before I even gave it a chance. So I was thinking it's just gonna be another cliche superhero show that I've seen millions of times, and I didn't really want to see the same story again that I've seen so many times, like the Avengers movies, the CW shows, the Hourverse, Smallville, just all them superhero shows. You just know how they go. Like the hero wins, the bad guy loses. Sometimes like major characters will die, but most of the time they will like that kind of deal. But recently we've had you know movies and TV shows with superheroes that have actually gone a different direction, and this is definitely one of them. And that's why probably last year it was my favorite show of 2019. Yeah, I can definitely say that. But damn, it kind of rivaled against Umbrella Academy, I think. Yeah, out of them two shows, like damn, I'd say I enjoyed The Boys more. And then I guess Umbrella Academy would be second. And yeah, I've been looking forward to watching season two, but I just haven't got around. I just took so long to get around to it, so. But I'm watching it now. Probably watch another episode later. I'm on episode two of season two, but yeah. But yeah, it's basically a show where I'm not even sure how much I can talk about because I just want a little bit to be non spoilers, just for a bit, just like 10 minutes or I don't know, between 8 to 10 minutes. But I can talk about the base of the show because I can't remember how much the trailer actually showed because I didn't really watch the trailer that much. Not really. I might watched it a little bit, but then I was thinking like, oh, it's gonna be a cliche superhero show, so I didn't even finish it. So I'm not sure how much I can actually talk about. But just all I'm gonna say is, if you're someone who isn't really a fan of these kind of things, then you're making a huge mistake because it's actually not that kind of thing. Like it's not like a superhero show. What's really cliche is actually completely different. And I even got my mum into the show, who isn't really a big fan of superhero stuff, and she really got into this. Like a lot of people are getting into this right now, checking out season one, which I watched it last year when it came out. I also knew about the book as well, what it's based on. But yeah, a lot of people are realizing how good the show is. And it's actually not a cliche superhero show, there's actually something different to it. It actually brings something new to the table. And that's what just made me like it so much that it's my favourite show of 2019. And I'm not sure if it can live up to the same standards as the first season. And I'm talking about season two right now, which I'm reviewing season one right now, so I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, when I've seen the full season, when all the episodes have dropped, because it's not like they've been able to put every episode on Amazon. Like you have to wait every week for the next episode, and I just realized that yesterday. Yeah. So should I just talk about some of the characters? And because like even the first 5 minutes are kind of spoilers, but yeah, you do see him like doing the everyday superhero job that you see in the TV shows and movies where they're stopping crime. But I guess the guy in the middle is Homelander. He's most likely the strongest. Well, I'll just say he is the strongest. Well, he's the strongest like superhero we've seen in the show so far. And I haven't really watched a lot of season two, so yeah. And there is like a previous member, but I'll talk about him afterwards when I get to the person who replaces him. But yeah, Homelander is the strongest one, and there's a lot of secrecy to his character, but I'll talk about that in the spoiler parts. Yeah. Then there's Translucent, the guy at the end. He's like the invisible guy, so you can't even see him. He has a special type of skin that can make him invisible. And yeah. And then there's A Train. He's basically like possibly the fastest man alive. But all I'm just gonna say is that it's really fast, and he has a big play into the beginning of the show. Like what actually got me into the show, like those first 5 minutes. Because if you're not into the show from those first 5 minutes, then I don't know if it's gonna be that kind of show for you. Because it's definitely surprising. Like that, just I was like, oh damn, this is not gonna be a cliche superhero show. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the guy next to Homelander, I forget his name, but let's just say he's a really skilled fighter. And that's where I'm going to leave it for him. Then there's the Wonder Woman clone, should I say? I forget what she's called again, so that's why I call her when I can't remember her name. Because it's not like she gets crazy time in season 1 anyway. She's not in season 1 a lot. But yeah, she has some cool powers. She has like strength, like super strength, like Homelander. But she can't fly like Homelander, because Homelander is basically like Superman. Like he has a lot of powers. He has the heat wave vision. Fly. I'm not sure if he can turn things into ice, but he obviously has the super strength as well. Yeah. And then is it the Deep? I think. Yeah, it's Deep. I'm just gonna call him Deep anyway. I think that's just his name, not the Deep. But yeah, he's kind of the what I say, the Johnny Storm of the group, but much more immature. He basically has the power to, communicate with the fish, so he's basically like a Aquaman clone. Yeah. Nemo clone. But yeah, he's like really immature though, so yeah, there's that. And yes, I'm just gonna leave it there for his character. And then there's Starlight. The one who replaces one of the I think his name was Lamplighter. He's a hero that disappeared, and no one knows what happened to him. But Starlight is basically the one who replaces him, and she's kind of like the one we see the most when it comes to the heroes, other than Homelander. So it's basically like Homelander and Starlight who we see the most in the show. We kind of get to see her point of view when she becomes a superhero and stuff. When she joins the Seven, which that's what their name is. Their group name is called the Seven, and it's basically the 7 members, and that's why it's called the Seven. Yeah. And a company basically is like the one who owns them in a way. Owns them. It's where they get sponsors and stuff, so they get paid in that, for being superheroes. And Starlight, gets accepted to the Seven, which she's really happy about. And that's where I'm gonna leave it for now, because I don't want to get into spoilers. What else can I talk about? Well, the actual main character, I guess. So I'm getting close to spoilers, but yeah. I'm just going to talk a bit about the actual main character and then spoilers. So yeah, the rest will be spoilers, but I'll warn you. Alright, so the main character is called Hughie Campbell. Yeah, I think that's his name. He also has a girlfriend, and he works in I guess, electric store, with the electric goods and stuff. So that's what he kind of does for a living. I can't remember what his dad does, but yeah, he basically lives with his dad as well. And his whole world changes as we get into spoilers when that's when I'll talk about that stuff. And it kind of puts him on a path where, oh man, I'm not even sure how much I don't even know how much I can talk about without spoilers, because from the first 5 minutes, like, stuff happens just from the first 5 minutes. That's oh man, what else can I talk about without spoilers? I don't even know. I guess I could give my thoughts on the show, then all of it will just be spoilers until I'm done. And then, and then I'll just talk about what I'm looking forward to season 2. So yeah, it's definitely a great show. Like I was definitely unexpected with how, it starts, and, all the other stuff that happens as the show goes on as well. Definitely got a great cast. Yeah, and the ones who play the heroes, like some of them are awesome too. Yeah, it's a great all around cast. Just like Umbrella Academy. Which if you haven't seen that show, I definitely recommend it. Because if you're someone who's seen Misfits, I guess I'd put it on that level, but less rude and stuff. Because he even has one of the actors from Misfits as well, who plays as the funny one. And I'm talking about the original cast as well, not the guy who replaces the funny one eventually. Which he's a funny actor as well, but I prefer the original guy. But definitely a great cast, definitely a good story. And I guess that's pretty much it with the non-spoilers. So, warning, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. So I hope you're ready. So yeah, guys, if you've seen the show, then you know what happened here. So basically, he's just going about his everyday life. He basically finished his work, and then he's with his girlfriend. They're just chatting about life, and then possibly moving in together. To advance their relationship, and then out of nowhere, God, a superhero, A-Train, kills his girlfriend, and he's just like in shock. And for most of the episode, he's like in shock from what just happened, and it kind of gives him a different viewpoint on the heroes. Like that just came out of nowhere. Like I wasn't expecting that. Just to see his girlfriend just get killed like that, like, and it's pretty brutal. So I don't even want to show it as well. Yeah, because there might be kids watching. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about Butch now, the coolest character in probably the whole show. So he kind of has a similar story to, Hugh G. Campbell, where he lost the love of his life, I guess. But since it's spoilers, I can say what happened. Like, because at the end we know that Butcher doesn't actually lose his wife. His wife is actually with Homelander, and then you find out that Homelander had a son with his wife and stuff. But yeah, most of his motivation in this first season is him getting revenge on his wife, but he has no idea that his wife was alive the whole time. Homelander basically just hid her away, but yeah. He basically gets a gun together to get revenge. And he recruits Hughie since, he kind of relates to what happened to him, so he wants to make him join the gang, but Hughie doesn't want to join straight away. But then it gets to a point where he wants to, and then, then we see all the other members who join as well, but yeah. But yeah, Butcher's a really cool character. He's really funny as well. And yeah, this person's actually a great actor. Like, I like him in the Riddick movies as well. And as most of all, like the Dread reboot, like that's probably one of my favorites, and a very underrated movie. Which, if you've never seen it, you should check it out. Because if you're someone who's seen the old movie and you've been put off of watching the new one, I definitely recommend you watch the new one. Well, the new one that came out, because it's not new anymore, obviously. But yeah, I definitely recommend that movie. All right, so this is the crew that's gonna, try to take down the superheroes. Since I guess none of them actually trust the superheroes, but there is some of them who, well, I guess you could say two of them who have actually got something to lose by being a part of this. So Hugh G. Campbell, he still has his dad, and he's been there for him when he lost his girlfriend. So he's definitely got something to lose there. Like if something happened to his dad, which I can't even remember if something actually does happen to his dad. I can't remember if he dies or not. I would have to maybe go back to episode. Is it 8? The last episode. I can't even remember how many episodes that actually are. With the 10, that I'll just have to go back to see what happens to the dad because I can't remember. But yeah, he's got something to lose there. Then there's is it Mother's Milk? Yeah, Mother's Milk. That's his name. The black guy. He basically has like a family and a daughter. So he's definitely got something big to lose if things go wrong. And then over to Frenchie and Butcher, like, they haven't really got anyone. Well, Butcher thinks he has no one. And I just wonder what happens with things in season 2 with, what, when he finds out that they're alive. Well, that his wife's alive. He doesn't know that he has it's not even his son, it's Homelander's, so yeah. Because, Homelander's basically revealed as the bad guy by the end of, episode 1. So you even find out, you find out what kind of person he is by the end of the episode. Because they try to make it look like he's going to be the nicest character in the first episode, but then after you see the ending, when it destroys that plane with, you know, possibly innocent people inside. Like, you knew he wasn't good. Well, in that moment, you knew he wasn't going to be a good guy, but you was thinking he was going to be that kind of Superman kind of character who you'd think would be the good guy. But since I've played a game called Injustice, you know, I wasn't thinking he was going to be the nicest anyway. Well, the moment I realized what the show was actually going to be about before it got to that, you know, final scene of episode 1, I was thinking like, okay, I think I can kind of predict who are going to be the worst ones and the nicest ones when it comes to the 7. And it's pretty obvious that Starlight's the nicest one, which we'll talk more about her in a bit. And then like Homelander is like the worst one, and he's the most powerful as well. So Jesus, I can't imagine how they'd even defeat him in the future. But yeah, their mission is to try to take down the superheroes, and the first one did he even mean to go after Translucent first? Or did he just stumble upon them? Yeah, I don't exactly remember how it went, but they basically captured Translucent, you know, the invisible guy. And since he's not really easy to kill, well, he is easy to kill. Wait, is he? But I just know that they basically put bombs on him and they just hold him captive until they think of a plan to what they should do. But it eventually gets to the point where, well, you're gonna see in the next, you know, page. So yeah, Starlight's like I guess I will say the hero of the show, like the true hero, because you know, the boys, the gang who are, you know, who are with Hughie, I guess you could say they're the good guys. But when it comes to actual superhero, then superheroine, I guess it's Starlight, since she's trying to do the right things, and then she eventually finds out how bad the 7 actually are. And I guess the Wonder Woman clone is probably the nicest out of all of them. And then, you know, Deep is I guess I'll say the jerk of the group, especially when he tried to sexually assault Starlight, like, and that's when he gets exiled for doing that, because that man, like, when he tried to be naked in front of her, and you know, yeah, he basically gets exiled. And he also tries to get back into the group, but you know, he gets denied. Then he has like a breakdown and stuff, and things just go downhill from there for, you know, Deep. So yeah, he's eventually not with the group. I think he gets replaced in season 2 because I've seen a new person who replaces him. And all I'm gonna say is, Homelander's not happy about that. But yeah, Starlight's definitely the true hero of the show. She tries to do everything right, but she's kind of put in a line where she has to follow what they say, and then there's the person who's her manager, I guess. I forget what her name is, but it's basically oh man, because I've seen it from Jessica Jones and I guess Fear the Walking Dead. You know, the one who Morgan. You know, not yeah, the one who Morgan. Yeah. But yeah, like she basically doesn't really listen to the manager because she's kind of stopping Starlight from actually doing heroic stuff. So she basically quits. But then she comes back, in season 2 anyway, but in a different way, which we'll talk about that when I review the first episode of season 2. Because I just don't want to talk about season 2 too much in the first season review. Because yeah, I'm just gonna stop there. I'm not gonna talk about anything else from season 2 until I actually review the first episode. Yeah. But yeah, Starlight just gets to a point where, well, I'd even talk about, what Huge Campbell does. Hughie Campbell, not Huge Campbell, because that's his dad name, which they kind of have the same name, but his name's Hughie, and then his dad's name's Huge. One of those names. But yeah, I didn't say like what he was supposed to do, like, because I guess Butcher said that he needs to get on, like, ask for an apology basically, so he can go inside the 7 building. Well, it's not called the 7 building, like, because it's an organization and they have a specific name, but to get inside the building and plant a bug, so it can hear conversations and stuff. And then, to do that, like, he wants an apology from A-Train because, A-Train killed his girlfriend. And then he uses that to get inside and plant the book. But yeah, that scene where I wonder what he's planning to do. Like, what would he actually been able to do? Because, like, in that moment, like, he seemed like he froze, but he was probably angry at the same time as well. So he couldn't really, let his emotions out in that moment. So he just acted friendly. Then it was just over so fast. Like, it's like A-Train. It's like A-Train didn't even care, really. But yeah, with A-Train, like, he's trying to make sure he's the fastest man alive. But okay, this is when the compound V, like, that's when I have to talk about that, because there's a lot to do with the whole story. Like, the compound V, like, it's the reason why this whole show exists. But yeah, that can also be like a drug enhancer, which A-Train uses, but he eventually gets a heart attack from using it, and then he's out for the rest of the show, I guess. And that's before he has that mission where oh wait, I don't even know where to. Oh man, it's just maybe I should have did it in a different way, because I am missing out some stuff. Because there's also Kimiko, who isn't really a member of the group until like episode 5, 6 or something. But yeah, Kimiko doesn't really speak, but like friendship is like, this is when friendship becomes the most useful. I mean, most useful when you can communicate with her. But they basically find her from a tip. Well, they basically blackmailed someone, but yeah. The blackmailed, I think Butcher blackmailed the soup, and then they found out a tip about a terrorist site, and then they basically use that to try to find some information, but instead they find Kimiko, who tries to kill him, right? And she kind of runs away from him a few times, but because eventually, like, she eventually joins them, especially when A-Train was trying to capture her, because that was one of his missions and his chance to redeem himself, I guess, to Homelander, because he was seeing like he was getting, well, from using too much of that compound V. But I don't even know how much compound V Homelander actually uses. But okay, let me just talk about this important thing about compound V, because people think like superheroes were born, but they're not. They're actually created from just normal people when they were babies. They're basically injected with something called compound V, and that's what actually makes them, powerful. And they'll also do something even, more twisted, where they actually create villains. So they make the public think that when these villains come, like, the superheroes are there to stop them, and same with like, well, they don't really call them villains; they call them like terrorists, soup terrorists. And then like it's kind of funny with the stuff that happens in season 2 with giving them the name of villain. But yeah, I did it again. Yeah, I'm trying not to talk about season 2, but yeah. Because we know villains as villains, but in the boys universe they call them soup terrorists. But they basically make those terrorists, and then the heroes that they make, it's basically all staged to make the heroes look like they're the like the saviors and stuff, but it's actually fake. And yeah, that's kind of the what the compound V is about, and how it kind of creates the whole story overall. But yeah, was there something I was missing? Well, I talked about the Hughie thing with planting the book and all that. Yeah, planting the book and all that, so they can hear everything, and they also get like they eventually get Starlight on their side for insider communications and stuff. But she kind of, well, Hughie and Starlight kind of meet as just friends, and he's basically using her. And then when she finds out, she's not really happy about that. But then when she sees how evil they are, that's when she starts to help, especially at the end, when things get intense. Yeah, when Homelander starts to get intense as well. When they have to fight everyone. I just can't remember if the Wonder Woman clone was with the good guys or the bad guys, but most likely the bad guys. Because if she was out of line, she'd be screwed. Oh yeah, and there's that scene. Yeah, let's cover that. So yeah, this scene, this showed how evil Homelander actually was. Because we did see him like destroy a plane, but imagine that scene, but inside, so he actually sees the people, with kids and everything. It's kind of messed up. I think he at least saves the kid anyway. I think he does. I think I remember that he does. Or did he? I can't remember. Damn. I can't remember if he like gave her the choice to leave her there if the kid doesn't come, or like just leave everyone. Like just it kind of showed how evil he actually was, and it's like he was just pretending to show that he was actually gonna save them. Yeah, Homelander man is just so evil. I don't know if he gets it from his mother, which man, his mother's really creepy, and I can't tell if like there's like some. Do you call it incest when it's mother and son? But I just don't want to talk about that too much. But I'm just kind of happy that they kill her off at the end. Well, Homelander kills her, brains her. I mean, just blows her brains out and stuff. Whatever. With his laser eyes. However it goes, because he realizes that he can't really trust her because of things that she reveals to him. And then he eventually tells the truth about that to someone, but I can't remember. Was it Butcher or something? But why does he want him to know all that? He obviously hasn't told the public because he'd be screwed at that point. But I think he tells Butcher. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it basically gets to a point where they're all caught anyway. And they basically become wanted. That's going into season 2 as well. Because they get found out and everything, like their identities are exposed at that point. And they become fugitives. And things just get hectic from there. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of sum up things now, and then I'm probably gonna end the video. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about the ending now real quick to end things up. So basically, Butcher gets taken by Homelander after his fight with Starlight. And then he kind of takes him to. It's kind of the same place where he kills his mom as well, because we see all that scene, and that's when Butcher finds out everything. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is Butcher who finds out. He finds out the truth. And then straight afterwards, that's when he takes him to a house what has his wife Becca, and then he gets revealed that he actually had a son with his wife, which is just a messed up part. But I just can't imagine what he's thinking in his head as well, especially going into the next season as well. Like I can't imagine what he's gonna be thinking. Well, going into the show is like a. I just can't. I don't want to talk too much about season 2 right now. So yeah. Is there anything else that I missed? I think I covered most things. Just something that I could have put more focus on, but I pretty much covered the main stuff. So yeah, just seeing his wife again, like just finding out that she's alive. Like, well, I heard that my mom didn't really like that ending, but it did go a bit overboard. Finding out all of that as well. Jeez. Yeah, man. I also didn't really talk much about his partner, who was kind of helping him, and then like kind of not. Like his old partner that I used to work with. Yeah, I didn't really talk much about her, but she kind of helps now and then, and sometimes she doesn't really want to help. And I'm just not really going to talk about what happens with her in season 2 as well. So, so yeah, I guess I just can't really think of anything else to talk about, really. I think I'll talk about the most important stuff. So I guess what I think is gonna happen in season 2, without talking about episode 1 spoilers. Man, wow! I just want to see like how the conversation went, with him and his wife. Because the things that I'm talking about right now, like I had seen happen, like, and things that I don't know. But yeah, I hadn't seen him have like a proper conversation with his wife and what he thinks of Homelander's son and everything. Because that's probably like the biggest thing that I want to see right now. But yeah, I can say that they introduced a new superhero to the Seven because that's in the trailer. She has lightning powers, so she's named Stormfront, I think. Yeah, because she basically replaces translucent, obviously. So I can say that, yeah. But there's not really much else I want to talk about with season 1. And if there is something that I missed, I guess we could talk about it in, I guess, the comment section if you want to. So yeah, I'm just going to end it here. I love season 1, man. I just really hope season 2 can be just as good. Especially since they got a superhero who has lightning powers, because, yeah, when it comes to lightning powers, they're like my favourite powers. Yeah. When I was a kid, I always wanted lightning powers for some reason. Yeah. Growing up with Storm in the X-Men movies and, you know, well, cartoons as well. And Thor, like, yeah, I always wanted lightning powers. More of Storm's than Thor's because, you know, his power comes from a hammer, but, you know, in the movies he eventually, you know, he can kind of do it from his hands and stuff, like the power of inside, but, yeah, mostly comes from his hammer. So I've always wanted, like, powers like Storm, you know, shooting lightnings from my arms and, you know, controlling the weather and just, yeah, that kind of stuff, yeah. But yeah, I'm just going to end it here. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'll see you in the season 2 episode reviews. Peace. With